The film opens with a young woman named Tika. She's beautiful, bright, and studying at an elite university filled with wealthy students, even though she herself comes from a humble background. This is her older brother Duta. He dreams of becoming a theater director and hopes to one day rent a grand theater hall for his own production. Their youngest sibling is Dodi. He's often bullied at school, but he's tough enough to stand up for himself and fight back when needed. At home, their parents work hard to support the family. The father runs a small motorcycle repair shop, while the mother sells homemade cakes. They live in a narrow neighborhood, a simple life, but a warm and happy one. One day, Duda takes Tika and Dodi to a wedding banquet. On the way, they run into a police checkpoint, so Tika has to get off the motorcycle to avoid getting a ticket. Eventually, they arrive at the party. Tika chats with a waiter named Bayu, and everything seems normal until the bride and groom approach. They have no idea who this family is. That's when it becomes clear they weren't invited. They were just there to get a free meal. Embarrassed, they run out of the party as fast as they can. They had no idea what was coming next. This is Newly Rich. The next day, their parents discuss where Dodi should continue school. The mother suggests a cheaper option because she worries about how hard the father works. But the father insists that all of his children deserve the best education they can get, no matter their financial situation. Meanwhile, Tika has two close friends, Linda, who comes from a wealthy family, and Monica, who comes from a background similar to hers. The three of them are bright and ambitious, and they plan to enter a physics competition so Tika and Monica can earn scholarships. But on campus, there are two wealthy and arrogant students named Sasha and Risha. They look down on Tika and often humiliate her publicly, simply because she doesn't come from the same social class. Back at school, Dodi receives a pair of shoes from a boy named Toby. Toby claims it's an apology gift for bullying him in the past. Dodi accepts it happily, even though the shoes are covered in paint stains. Later in class, a teacher comes in searching for a missing pair of shoes. It turns out Toby set him up again, making it look like Dodi stole them. Meanwhile, Duda is invited by a friend to a cafe. There he meets a man named Mr. Anto, a government official who says he is willing to fund Duda's theater production. But there is a condition. Mr. Anto wants to use the theater performance as a place to campaign. Duda does not want his art to be used for politics, so he refuses and walks out. Outside, frustration hits him even more. He sees a white foreigner being allowed to enter the cafe barefoot, while earlier Duda himself was denied entry for the same reason. It turns out the foreigner is the owner of the cafe. Later that evening at dinner, Tika mentions how different life would be if they were rich. Their father gently reminds them that when money is little, it feels enough. But when money becomes a lot, it is never enough. At first they do not understand, but slowly the meaning begins to settle. After dinner, their father sits outside and falls asleep. Tika goes to massage his feet, but when she touches him, his skin feels cold. Their father has passed away. At the funeral, Tika meets Bayu again. He is working as a gravedigger to help pay for his own college expenses. From this moment on, the two of them grow closer. That night, the family gathers together. Their mother insists that no matter what happens, Tika and Duta must continue their studies. She is even prepared to sell the house to make sure of it. The atmosphere is heavy and emotional. The next morning, a lawyer named Ilham arrives with his assistant, Siska. They play a video recorded by the father before he died. In the video, he apologizes and reveals a secret. He was actually wealthy all along. He only pretended to live in poverty, and even their mother never knew. He explains that they will receive his money in portions only when needed. If they run out, they can request more through the lawyer. Everyone is shocked. The following day, they go to the bank and receive their first transfer, 500 million rupiah. Overwhelmed, the mother cries out in relief, remembering how they struggled for more than 20 years despite having this fortune hidden away. From that moment, everything changes. They rush to spend the money so they can request more. Expensive meals, designer shoes, a brand new motorcycle, everything they once could only dream of. Tika and Bayu grow even closer. One day, while the two of them are out together, Bayu's motorcycle breaks down. They stop at a small repair shop, and Tika notices a motorcycle that Bayu really likes. Without hesitation, she buys it for him. But when they get home, Bayu refuses the gift. He tells her he prefers to earn things through his own hard work. He feels insulted and walks away upset. Their relationship becomes strained. Meanwhile, their mother spends freely on jewelry until the money runs out again. The next morning, the lawyer returns to their house with another video from their father. In this recording, the father explains that the second transfer will be 30 times larger than the first. That means they will receive 12 billion rupiah. He also says that if the money runs out again, they can request more. Hearing this, the family is thrilled. The lawyer adds that if the money is not used within 10 years, whatever remains will be donated to charity. So they start planning to spend the entire amount as quickly as possible. They go out and buy a luxurious house worth 18 billion rupiah. When they visit the house, one of the staff looks down on them and tells them not to touch the furniture, assuming they cannot afford it. The mother refuses to be disrespected. She boldly says that anything her children touch, hold, or even glance at, they will buy. And she means it. They even hire one of the servants there to work for them, paying him double his previous salary. One night, Tika visits Bayu at his workplace to apologize. She promises not to repeat the mistake she made. Their relationship slowly begins to mend. Meanwhile, Duda finally manages to fund his dream theater production. With their new wealth, the family also buys luxury cars. Not just one, but 3 at once. The only problem is that none of them actually know how to drive. A few days pass, and once again, the money is gone. The lawyer delivers another transfer, this time 15 billion rupiah. Their lifestyle grows even more extravagant. Dodi, who was once bullied, is now respected because of his family's new wealth. Tika also becomes closer to Risha and Sasha. They invite her to parties, and she goes there with Bayu. Slowly, Tika begins to drift away from her true friends. She spends less time studying, even though the physics competition is approaching. Monica and Linda start to feel her slipping away. Duda becomes completely absorbed in his theater project. He hires expensive actors that he does not actually need. The mother, Tika, and Duda each get caught up in their own worlds, while Dodi begins to feel lonely. The family is together, but no one is truly connected anymore. Eventually, the money runs out again. The lawyer returns with another video from the father. This time, the message is different. The father explains that the last amount they spent was the final transfer. All 30 billion rupiah have now been used up. The family is shocked and panicked. Duda still needs 7 billion to complete his theater production. Their mother has promised a large donation to many people who are expecting it. Tika admits she has a little money left, but it is nowhere near enough. The next day, Duda faces a major setback. The teacher and the expensive actors he hired refuse to continue unless they are paid in advance. With no money left, the entire theater production is at risk of collapsing. Desperate, Duda begins calling anyone he thinks could help. Meanwhile, Linda meets Tika and delivers heartbreaking news. Monica has dropped out of college. She could no longer continue because Tika had been too busy enjoying her new lifestyle and stopped preparing for the physics competition. Monica had counted on winning that competition to earn a scholarship. Without it, her education must come to an end. That night, at a party, Sasha and Risha take drugs and pressure Tika to join them. Tika pretends to swallow the pill but secretly disposes of it in the bathroom. On the way home, guilt hits her. She calls Monica, apologizes sincerely, and promises to return to studying so they can still compete together. She begs Monica not to give up on college. Time passes, and the day of the physics competition arrives. Tika invites Bayu, Risha, and Sasha to watch. But just before the competition begins, the police show up. Their real targets are Sasha and Risha, who have been involved in drug use and distribution. Tika, Linda, and Monica are also taken in for urine testing. Fortunately, Tika never took the drug, and the 3 of them test negative and are released. Meanwhile, with help from Mr. Anto, Duda manages to continue the theater performance. However, when Mr. Anto tries to use the stage to campaign, the audience boos him and forces him off, turning the show into chaos. The next day, the mother prepares to give donations to the poor, but far too many people show up. The situation becomes chaotic, and in the crowd, a young child is injured. Panicked, the mother rushes the child to the hospital. Thankfully, the child recovers. That evening, the lawyer returns, this time accompanied by a man claiming to be the father's younger brother. He says he is also entitled to inheritance. The mother is confused because she never knew her husband had a sibling. After calculating the inheritance, the house, the cars, and everything they own must now be given to this man. With no choice, the family moves back to their old, modest home. There, sitting in the same small space they once called home, they begin to regret the careless choices they made when they had everything. Bayu stays close to Tika during this difficult time. The mother reveals she has one last piece of jewelry left, enough to keep her children in school. Not long after, the lawyer returns again with a final video from the father. In it, he expresses his love for his family. He explains that he never wanted wealth to separate them or make them forget one another. Then comes the truth. The man who claimed to be his younger brother was not family at all, but his childhood friend. The father had asked him to pretend, to test whether his family had learned what truly matters. The father's wealth was never gone. Their home, their assets, everything is returned to them. Now, wiser, they are grateful, relieved, and finally understand the lesson he left behind. Money can provide comfort, but it cannot replace love or family. So the moral of the story is, having everything means nothing if you lose the people who stood beside you when you had nothing.